Alright guys, and we're back. Sorry about that. Things happened. Some of the mods were good to be updated, but then when I updated it, it was saying that the game would possibly be having issues, so
my step.
I then had to downgrade the recently upgraded mods, so joy fun. Oh, the joys of having mods. Hello? But we're okay.
Better not be cursed.
If at any point it seems that the game is not doing too well, I'll probably end the stream, upgrade the mods, and get us back to where we were.
Something good
But
here.
in my spare time. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Wait. Oh. That must have burned up. Because I don't remember grabbing it. We are starting this morning off with a little bit of looting. Meaning a lot of looting because this is the toll house. And underneath, there tends to be quite a lot of loot. So we'll see. And I will need to end this stream early at about 1 o'clock. And I will be back on around 3:30 this afternoon. Oh. Well. Alright. This ladder's still intact. Wicker basket. Lords of Madness. A book encumbered me. Lovely. We'll probably have to rest as well. How are we doing on spell slots, you guys?
You have my attention.
Yeah.
What to do? Don't waste a step.
So I'm gonna get down into the basement of the toll house, go to camp, and then... Why? Why are we all... Okay, nope,
Making me sweat.
Elminster's not around, so might as well.
You're a monk, you should have thought about that better. Goodness gracious.
My faith will guide me. Where am I needed?
Alright, well.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Alright.
That corpse is riper than a Manaurus bog.
I don't know what you just said, but I don't want to know. Alright, everybody, back to camp. Now to do the lovely thing and all the organization. This is the potion pack, right? Yes. Okay. Go to you, go to you. Just for now. Grace bottle goes to him. Do we have that? Nope. Doesn't look like it. Oh boy. Alrighty. Time for a whole world of sorting junk. You know, when I put these VODs up, whenever I have to do any sorting, especially if I have a low strength character, I'm half tempted to just cut these moments either out or speed them up. I just want you guys to be entertained. And watching somebody sort through inventory does not seem very entertaining to me. Yeah, that's right. But since most of these are not stackable, I can just get them into the proper chest and then everything's fine. Sorry guys, thought I heard something. All of these go to Astarion. All of this goes in here. Astarion. Oh, what am I doing? But since we have Karlach, she'll be able to carry this chest. So I won't have to do a massive, a massive item overhaul from one inventory to the next. So that'll be nice. Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on. Into the chests. Starian. Hello? Potion. Sort by type. Sort by type. There we go. Oh. Wait a minute. There we go. That would just be dumb for me not to take that. Put the candle in. Open. And Astarian has a whole bunch of stuff. I am hearing what sounds like banging, but I don't know if it's an... Oh. Whee! Didn't mean for that to happen. I don't know if the banging is on our front door, or if it's behind behind where I live, because my window's open. Hopefully, it is not on our front door. Throwable. Right. Oh. I forgot to put the wyvern poison in. My bad. No. Open. Oh, I do have a potion of invisibility. There we go. Just kidding. There we go. Now we're good. I do have a short rest, but it'll just be better if I
Always a pleasure.
The goblins still infest the roads. As long as their leaders live, Zevlor's people are trapped.
I know.
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. one merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
What act could be finer than saving a life? You must have felt proud.
Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade. And so I heeded.
Alright. And before that?
Baldur's Gate, born and raised. The only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama. A staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine.
I've noticed your stone eye.
A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means.
Raphael, what do you make of
It
it?
brings to mind a story. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think?
With the right teacher, yes.
Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost will be too great.
Don't worry, I have no interest in the devil's deal.
That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with, and then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything.
Wait in the camp, please.
Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready.
Please, just stay here.
And just when things were warming up.
You're fine. Wait.
Karlach's all fire and fury. I pray to the Triad it doesn't consume her.
Join me, please.
That's the spirit. Hell's fire. She's coming.
Wyll, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Just who in the nine hells are you?
Wyll, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Wyll's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank.
We had a deal, Wyll. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart.
Always legalities with demons and devils, man. You're not gonna lay a finger on Karlak. I'll fight you.
Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Wyll burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you.
Oh, and Wyll, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Hello.
God's damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
I mean, Karlak did run away. So, to a demon or devil, you should have seen it coming, dude. What'd you expect? She's a devil.
All these years. You'd think it's a lesson I'd have well learned. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
And what are the terms of your pact?
I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word. You've got something to say?
You should get out of the pact.
A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
There must be some loophole. All contracts have a loophole.
There could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
We can beat her if we put our worms together.
We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet.
Alright, dude, stand.
You've got something to say?
I do. Wait in camp. Wait, how does it
It
feel to be a
said that
devil?
anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck. Not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see?
I see the blade of frontiers, no more, no less.
It's because you know the heart lurking under the horns. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe. And one day they will see the blade of frontiers again.
Now you stand camp.
Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready.
Please don't argue, just stay.
And just when things were warming up.
Hey, Karlak.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Wyll hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that.
He's a good man.
You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
Hi, Gale.
I can't help feeling Wyll got off lightly. The wrath of the hells is second only to the wrath of the heavens. Having a devil in our camp will certainly make things interesting. Never a dull day, is there?
Leave. Alright.
What's the story?
Holy moly. You and Mizora know each other. How?
We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted.
Do you think she'll keep coming after you?
I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride.
I can see why you were so keen to escape.
No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
I'm gonna change the subject. Now that the paladins are gone, what's next?
First things first, I need to get this engine tuned up. Thing's powerful, but it's been feeling volatile ever since I left the Hells. Can't be too hard to find an infernal mechanic around here, right?
How did you end up with such a contraption?
The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell.
You mentioned a boss. Who?
Guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again.
What does that infernal engine do to you?
Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close.
What's that been like?
Agonizing. God's what I wouldn't give for a hug. A pat. Anything. You've never met anyone so desperate for a hug as this one right here. Pathetic perhaps, but true. It's my lot to bear, and I bear it badly. Ah well, can't have it all, can you? Not today, at least. Hey, soldier.
Hey. Stay in camp, please.
Sounds boring.
Well, too bad.
Oh, fine. I'll be here eating dirt or whatever.
Just for the night. Oi.
The Grove sported some rather interesting murals, I must say. They just reminded me of something half forgotten. It seemed to depict Lady Shah's warriors in combat. I hadn't known they were active in these parts.
Care to elaborate?
You know me. I'm not usually one to elaborate if I can avoid it. They looked like Dark Justiciars, an elite force among Lady Shah's ranks. Only the very finest proved themselves worthy of the title.
Sounds like you aspire to join them.
What right-minded servant of Lady Shah wouldn't? But it's a distant dream. The Dark Justiciars have been silent for years. Curious to see them depicted in such a place. Perhaps there's more to it. But there's nothing to be done about it just now.
I want to get to know you more.
You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask?
Something other than Sharon tadpoles, perhaps?
What? Besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant?
Yes. Point out some night orchids if we ever see any.
It's a deal.
Anything else?
No, I can't. I mean, I literally can't. There's certain things I can't remember right now. Shah's secrets must be preserved above all else. All who worship her know this. I have had certain memories suppressed, voluntarily, so that I can serve Shah without compromising her. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored.
You've had your memories suppressed. That seems extreme.
Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed.
Why were you in pain before?
The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow.
So you knew more than you were letting on before. I do hope that you'll be more honest in the future.
I'll try my best. But secrecy is ingrained in me. Lady Shah considers it greater protection than any shield or armor.
Why would Shah subject you to such a thing?
I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons.
Uh-huh. How can you manage?
It's less difficult than you might imagine, when you can't remember life without it. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss, and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning.
What causes it to hurt you?
It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure.
Alright. What do you think of all that's happened to us so far?
We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little?
How am I holding up to your estimations?
I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Cool. Stay here, please.
If you're sure.
I'm sure.
Very well. Don't have too much fun without me. I'll keep watch here in the meantime.
Awesome. Now that we're down to, oh god, darkness.